Alright, what is going on, guys? It is Benny, and today we are going to be playing some Mortarbait in the top 1000. I'm currently around number 900 in the world right now, so hopefully we can get some wins here and not go up against anybody too sweaty. And we are going to be using a version of Mortarbait that used to be amazing. Honestly, I'm going to pretend like I invented it. I don't think I did, but you know, I was running this version a very long time ago, so we're going to call it Benny's version of Mortarbait anyways. This guy's going to play the Royale Giant opposite lane. We might take a bit of damage here, unfortunately, but the Goblin gang actually is going to come in clutch there. And then we can go ahead and play the Skeleton Barrel on the other side. And using the Bomber in this deck is honestly a game changer. It does so much for the deck, and it allows you to get so much damage in very many different ways. We're going to get some great damage right there. And then I think I'm just going to play the Bomber right here for the Royal Ghost. We want to save our counters for the Royal Giant, especially our Mortar. We definitely need that for the Royal Giant. So we'll take a little bit of Royal Ghost damage, and I am okay with that. And then we'll kind of figure out what we want to do here. Okay, so I think what the best play that we could do here is to play the Mortar, and when I play the Mortar, my goal is to force out the Royal Giant. I really want him to play that Royal Giant, because every time he's playing the Royal Giant for the Mortar, it's really hard for him to get a ton of damage using it. And then I play the Knight in front of the Little Prince every time when I'm defending it. And then I have the Little Prince fire on the Royal Giant. I'll play a Goblin gang here just to be extra safe so that the Fisherman doesn't pull the Little Prince. And then, you know, every single time we're doing that, we're just trying to stop the Fisherman from pulling our Little Prince away from the Royal Giant and stopping us from getting any damage. And then that Royal Ghost will go in. Honestly, I might let it. Oh my goodness, what the wait, what the heck? Okay, that's crazy. Well, we just wasted a lot. I can't believe the Cannoneer shot that. There was no way that should have happened. Also, guys, I'm going to include some replays in this matchup. I feel like because we're in the top 1000, some of these replays I can show you guys are going to be incredibly valuable. So let me know if you are on team replay or team no replays. We'll see. This guy's Evo Skellies are scary, holy crap, but the Evo Bomber is going to come in clutch. I'm going to log the Royal Giant there as well, just to get rid of it. And then we do need to start kind of pressing the advantage here, just because he's getting all of the chip damage and we're not getting a lot. Pretty good fireball by him there. The good thing is we can use our Evo Bomber when needed, so we can try to get a little bit of Evo Bomber damage to keep the damage going against this guy. I'm going to play a High Knight here, and then I am going to play the Mortar again. And we might actually go for a Poison here, depending on the Phoenix, just to kind of get a little bit of spell damage, get a bit of chip damage, and get that value going. Let's cycle a Bomber in the back here. He's going to play the Royal Ghost, and he does have the Fisherman there. We're probably going to have to log in a second here, so let's go ahead and do that. And then he did go for the Evo Royal Giant. We can go ahead and play our Goblin gang right here to the side, because we want the Spear Goblins to take out the Royal Giant. And then we can go for a Mortar on this side. He got some really good damage there, so we do have to be very careful going forward. He's going to go for the Fisherman to counter there. Okay, I'm actually going to ignore the Fisherman. Let's go ahead and get the Bomber on this side. And then I'm going to log here just to interrupt for a second. We'll distract the Phoenix there with the Barb Barrel, and then we should get one shot on the tower, hopefully. Not Barb Barrel, sorry, my Skeleton Barrel. We don't get a shot on tower, but that's okay. I'm going to play the High Mortar. I want him to use that Royal Giant again. We can go ahead and get the Knight in front here. He is going to go for the Fisherman. I don't think we can get an Evo Bomber lineup quite yet, but we might be able to get it on the Royal Ghost, actually. Let's go ahead and play this. Nice, we do get a bit the Bomber lineup, and we got a bit of damage there. Let's go ahead and let's do this, and then let's play the defensive Mortar right here. We are going to have to log there for that Evo Skeleton matchup there, and then we can go ahead and play the Bomber for that Royal Giant, and we should be okay. He might get one shot, but overall not bad at all. We can play another Skeleton Barrel. Every time he doesn't counter the Skeleton Barrel, then we get a bit of chip damage, and if he does, then that's a lot of elixir. And I think at this point we could probably Poison Cycle him down. Oh, let's go. Okay, we got the Skeleton damage as well, so it's just going to be 2 Poison spells to get the win here. Let's go ahead and play the defensive Mortar again. Let's get the Bomber here. We want to spread it out for the Fireball. I'm going to log here to interrupt the Royal Giant a little bit, and then also get some more damage on the tower. And then it's just going to be a Poison and a log to get the win here. Let's go ahead and Poison. And then we just have to, we literally just have to start cycling. Holy crap. That was a scary matchup for sure for our first one. Let's get the Knight here. Then we can log here. And that's going to be good game. Let's give him a good game. Let's give him a good luck. And let's go on. Alright, you guys, next matchup, and then we will do some replays. Now, I also wanted to quickly talk about which tower troop to use. I feel like Cannoneer right now is probably one of the strongest tower troops. That is crazy. He just Lavahound first play. This is going to be a tough matchup, unfortunately. We don't have a lot of air defense in this deck. So hopefully we can get a win here. But Lavahound is a little bit crazy. That's a little bit scary. Okay, let's go ahead and play our Bomber just to respond to his, and then why don't we play a Skeleton Barrel as well just to force out a counter from him. That is crazy that he's going in with the balloon there as well. I think we're just gonna have to eat some damage here. We can go ahead and defensive Poison, and that'll take out the minions and stuff, but I think we're just gonna have to eat some crazy damage here. Oh, that is tough. That is really unfortunate. Okay, How do we want to do this? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and play the Mortar on the opposite lane here. He might Inferno Dragon, so let's go ahead and play the Goblin Gang just to keep that Mortar alive a little bit longer. Get some nice damage with it. He will play the Bomber, which fully counter everything there, but that's okay because we did get some damage. So at least we're doing something, right? And then maybe we can rely on like an Evil Mortar lineup to, you know, get the win here. Let's go ahead and just play that Skeleton Barrel. He will get the Bomber damage again, but again, I mean, like, it's whatever. We lost a tower, so you know, beggars can't be choosers. We have to do something. And then I'm going to start the Bomber in the back. When he goes for the Lavahound, I will go ahead and I will play the Evil Mortar right in that lane. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to really pressure the opposite lane really hard. He's going to play the minions there to cycle. If he uses the Void, then I think we can go for the Evil Mortar pretty safely. But it's just a matter of what he's going to do. Let's go ahead and play the Knight in front here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and play the Mortar now here to keep the Little Prince alive. We have all of this going in, and we do also have the Skeleton Barrel that will get on the tower. Let's go ahead and log right here to get that Evil Bomber down, hopefully. Okay, we got it down, and we do have a Mortar lock here. Let's go ahead and play the Goblin Gang as well. That way we're going to for sure take that tower. I think we can get that down pretty easily. And then what we might be able to do is go for like a Knight in the pocket and then get like a lineup on his other tower. Let's go ahead and do that. And then let's go for the Evil Bomber. Let's go ahead. Oh, no way. We're going to get it. We're going to get it. Come on. Nice. We got the lineup there. Okay. And then we can go ahead. I'm going to play a defensive Mortar just to be safe. We're going to take that tower. This is the comeback. Oh, my goodness. Okay, I'm so scared for this push now, though. This guy's going to have something absolutely crazy for us. We definitely do need to keep our Little Prince alive as long as possible. Let's go ahead and play the Knight right here. And then let's go ahead and poison right here. Is that going to reach the Little Prince? Come on, let's get the Bomber here. Okay, we're keeping it. At least we kept it alive. At least we kept it alive. Let's go ahead and get this stuff down. We just need to get that balloon down. Come on. Okay, and then we can get the Knight in front. There's no way we pull this off. Wait, okay. And then we just have to play the Skeleton Barrel here. Oh my goodness. That is a crazy comeback. Let's give him a good game. Let's give him a good luck. And let's hop into some replays. I can't believe we just won that matchup. That is absolutely insane. You guys, getting into the replays, honestly, that last match was absolutely insane. So if you aren't subscribed, I would definitely appreciate it if you do, because that was pretty crazy. I did not expect to win that. You'll see here, I went for this guy. A little bit of a starting hand on this guy. That was pretty messed up with me. I'm going to be honest. I'm not proud of it. You know what? We can only admit our mistakes. I definitely made a mistake doing that. I'm a bad person, but whatever. And so we are up against the current meta Mortar deck, but he's using Recruits and Fishermen, so it's a little bit different with the Fishermen being in there, but it is a very, very meta deck. Honestly, anything with Skeleton King and Mortar right now is very strong, and this is what I mean when I say that, you know, this deck is amazing and it matches up very well against a lot of the current decks in the meta. Is this deck, it really shines in this matchup. And another thing I wanted to touch on that, you know, I was rudely interrupted by with the Lavahound player is right now Cannoneer is probably the best tower troop to use in my opinion, especially with Mortar, and this deck using Bomber with everything definitely makes it very strong and easy to use. So I would 100% recommend running Cannoneer, and make sure you use Poison as well. I find I have the most success with that. Completely up to you guys though if you don't want to. Now you'll see here he has the Skeleton King, and I'm just going to kite it, and I'm setting my defense up so that I have the Little Prince and the Knight there. He went for the Recruits in the back. That was honestly a pretty crazy play. I'm not really sure what he was thinking, so I knew because he did that I should just go for the poison to take things out, and then my Mortar would help out on the left side, or I would get damage on the right side. So no matter what, I wasn't very worried on that play. The regular Recruits, I 100% would poison. Evil Recruits, I would be careful poisoning. And the nice thing about this deck is the Bomber counters the Recruits perfectly. It is so nice. You'll see here as well, he has Mother Witch, so I do have to be very careful with how I play my Skeleton Barrel, and I want to get that Mother Witch down as much as possible. So I went for my log there, simply to get the Mother Witch down, because if you were to play something in front and then, you know, I have to defend, that Mother Witch would just be a little bit more scary. But I have to be very, very careful of how I play my cards against that Mother Witch, because with him having Cannoneer, you know, like one Skeleton Barrel could have 10 pigs coming in my direction. So definitely have to be careful of that. Now I'm going to start the Little Prince in the back. I'm just going for a slow push, and then I go for the Evil Mortar, especially because he played those Recruits there. I knew that it was time to pressure him. I have my Evil Bomber, so I know I can defend pretty easily on the left side with everything. I go for the Skeleton Barrel just for a little bit of extra support, and the Evil Bomber with the Knight is going to completely clear up that one side. He does go for the Mother Witch there. I wasn't being super careful, but I did go for the poison there. Remember, I want to get that Mother Witch down as soon as possible, and my Evil Mortar is going to slam everything. And the big mistake that this guy made in this matchup is he wasn't really using his Mortar. He kept trying to go for these big Recruit pushes, and, you know, against a deck like this, that wasn't going to work for him. He probably would have been better off trying to use his Mortar to get chip damage and make me kite things to use my defensive cards. And at this point, I'm going to keep going for the poisons, just because I know it's going to be hard to get those lineups with the Mortar, but every single time time that I'm getting a poison on the tower, it's going to give me good damage. And here, you know, the mortar is going to help out with the left side. I'm not worried about the right side at all, and I can just poison cycle him to get the win. So really taking advantage of your poisons and using your cards to really pressure your opponent and making sure that you're getting, you know, quality mortar lineups. You'll see here he hasn't even used his mortar more than once in this entire matchup, and that definitely was a mistake. So I can go for my Evil Bomber here, defend all of that. Evil Bomber is absolutely insane. He's going to pop the Skeleton King ability. I don't have to panic or anything. I just play the Knight to you know, tank for everything, and then I do get the mortar lineup and we get the win in a nice little mortar v mortar matchup because Benny is the mortar goat. And let's go on into the next replay. Alright guys, for the last matchup I wanted to show you guys a matchup against Giant, and this is going to be in the top 650 in the world, so it's pretty high ranked and it's a pretty good matchup. Now also guys, if you do enjoy this, if you like the replays, please let me know down in the comments if you want more of these, if you want, you know, like 1 replay and then 3 live matches, whatever you guys want, as well as if there's any other videos you guys want to see. I know you guys want to see some graveyard stuff, so I have that tutorial coming out very soon. I'm just working on it right now. You'll see here he goes for the Giant very aggressive, and I played my little Prince really close to the tower and then the Knight in front of it instantly. And the reason for that is because a lot of times Giant decks will use Void. This guy isn't using Void, thankfully, but 90% of the time you're going to see a Void in a Giant deck, so you want to play something very close to your little Prince. And if you play your little Prince in front of the tower, then it's very close, it's hard for them to void it. The Knight in front also stops them from voiding, and then also I used my little Prince ability and it was perfectly lined up to push the Giant backwards, so I took no damage. So that is a very good way to defend against Giant, especially on the first push. You know, it's a safe way to defend and it's awesome, and we're running Cannoneer as well, which is good, so it helps us match up well against Giant. You'll see here he goes for the Knight to kite the mortar, and I make a bit of a misplay here. I went to play my Bomber. I was hoping that it would go after the Knight and then go into the same lane as the mortar, but, you know, typical Benny messing up the plays. So I play the Knight in front of the Bomber to keep it alive, and you'll see here he goes for the Evil Bomber. So to be safe, I play my little Prince up high, and then I play my Goblin Gang down low just to stop the Giant from getting any damage and to stop that Mega Minion from getting on the tower. And then you'll see here it's a bit of an awkward play because he plays the Evil Knight, so I have to use my mortar to defend it, and that's actually something that I don't see people do enough. So I played the mortar, and because I didn't have any good counters, I just used the mortar to tank, and that was the best thing I could have done for that Evil Knight because he loses his damage debuff, and then, you know, my Cannoneer can take it out, and then he plays the Mega Minion. I just played my Skeleton Barrel to distract it again because I want to save my Bomber, I want to save my Knight, I need all of those cards to defend. And so that's something that I see people often make a mistake with, where they don't utilize those cards enough. Feel free to use your mortar or your Skeleton Barrel to defend things, especially against cards like Mega Minion, Bats, Minions. You can distract, or, you know, you can pull, or you can also get the splash damage on them. So I play my Knight in the back here. That was not a good play of me to make. That was a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. So I played my little Prince to the right, and then I played the Bomber to the left because we're spreading it out so that he can't go for those fireballs on both of them. And then I played the high mortar just to defend and pull that Giant. And at this point, I'm going to let the Giant get a hit because I want to save that elixir. If I were to use 2 or 3 elixir on the Giant, then I wouldn't be able to use it for the poison to stop his counter push on the left side and take all of those cards out and also get some nice splash damage. But at this point now, I know I have to be careful, especially because he has that Prince coming out. So what I want to do is I want to spread out my cards. So I go for the little Prince, play the defensive mortar, and then I play my Goblin Gang really high, and that stops him from being able to counter the Goblin Gang, and it stops his Prince down from being able to do anything. And that's why this was so easy to defend, was because we were shutting down that Prince every single time. Now I have the Skeleton Barrel there, and he has to play the Knight for the Skeleton Barrel, which is not going to work out well for him. He goes for the Evil Bomber, and that's not going to work out super well either. I mean, it stops our mortar, so I guess it did work out, but we just go for the Bomber again. We're trying to cycle to get back to that Evil Bomber because we want to use it every time. And then he went for that Giant there, and it was a really bad play, and that's what lost him the match. As soon as he did that, I knew that we could press him a little bit because he put so much elixir into that. It was so easy for us to defend. So we go for the Skeleton Barrel there. We get a little bit of damage from all of that, and then we go for the Evil Bomber lineup, and we do get the Evil Bomber lineup. That is crazy damage there that we got, and because of that, we do get the win. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you if you watched to this point of the video. I hope you enjoyed, and I cannot wait to see you guys in the next one.